Have you ever met somebody that is so insufferably like attention stealing that you like literally have to take a step back and you're like, oh, we're dealing with another one. We're dealing with another main character, right? You have to deal with somebody that is so like in your face about how much better they are than you that you're just like, what am I doing here? What is going on? Who are you? If you experience this, you may be entitled to financial compensation because honestly, I think we have all been there. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today was the fact that this is so normal now. I don't understand why it's so normal. Like I feel like there are so many people who enable these like main characters in our lives and I don't understand it because I don't entertain it at all anymore. But something important that I kind of wanted to dive in before we really start talking about this is defining what I think a main character is. Because if we're being completely honest, I think everybody has a different definition because we all grew up with like different flavors of main characters, whether it was like the academic, oh, look at me, I have a 4.6 GPA and I got accepted into Harvard, or it's like the look at me, I'm wearing Prada to school, to the school basketball game. I have Prada sunglasses and a coach bag by my side. It's just like, okay, everybody experiences a different flavor of main character syndrome. But kind of how I have experienced it and how I define it, and I'm going to be talking about it, is people that feel like they are the star in every situation that they're put into. Like, I am I am the one that everyone is focusing on. Everybody knows who I am. And if they don't, they're going to recognize me because everybody talks about me. Like that kind of person, right? They have like huge ego driven needs for validation about their looks or their behaviors or their achievements. And um, it's pretty narcissistic and pretty selfish, honestly. Like that constant feeling to need to overwhelm everybody else with how amazing you are. That's what I think of when I think of a main character. That's what I think of when I think, oh, okay, it's this kind of person. Whenever I look at somebody that's trying maybe a little too hard to be noticed by everyone around them, that's what I think of. And that's how I'm going to define it. Somebody that is hugely ego driven. They constantly think they're the star and better than everybody else, and they're honestly pretty selfish about it. That's who I think a main character is. Now, I want you to think. I want you to think about maybe one person in your life that you've met that meets this criteria, right? I know you just thought of somebody because we all have. Um, and I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Okay? You guys kind of have to promise to keep this a secret. You can't tell anybody else, okay? I used to be a main character. I know. Sue me. Burn me at the stake. Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Blake is Talking. I haven't made YouTube videos in like 5 years. So this is still pretty new for me. I'm 17, and as I mentioned, I am a survivor of main character syndrome, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. So let's talk about my experience with, I guess, being a main character when I was younger. It started when I was like mid to late way through middle school and like freshman year of high school. I felt like this constant need to impress everybody else when I was younger. This need for constant validation. It was always there, and I felt like if I didn't meet that I would be judged. I had a lot of fear and anxiety about the way that people perceived me. Um, and I thought that everybody cared about me as much as I cared about myself, which obviously wasn't true. Um, I think everybody kind of goes through a phase like that. And if not, congratulations, you're perfect. Yay. here's a gold star just for you. But I definitely went through that, and it was horrible. Remember what I was saying before about main characters being these like really selfish people? Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely true. When we think of like how these people behave, do they allow anybody else to get any kind of attention around them? Like think of that person that I told you to think of, like that main character. And if you were involved in that friend group, did any other person in that friend group get attention unless it was somehow feeding back into them? The answer is no, right? It's this constant vortex of why are you not paying attention to me? I've worked so hard for this. Like, how dare you? Kind of energy. I don't like it. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you as much as you think. You take it so serious. I used to think that everybody was so judgmental and cared about how I looked and who I was associated with so much that it was almost anxiety inducing, where, oh my God, I would have like whole anxiety attacks around these like little dramas that just involved so much of me, which is, looking back, I think we can all look back and realize that we did stupid stuff, but I look back and I laugh so hard because it was never that deep. Oh, okay, what do you mean Stephanie said I looked bad? Oh, who's Stephanie? Like before I would get like so worked up about it, but like does her opinion matter? No. Like it's some random person telling me that my fit really didn't work out. And that's fine. That's fine. I've grown enough to know that I really don't care about that. But before, oh, it was like you would have thought that a nuclear bomb was about to go off, the way that I just freaked out. And I would continually freak out and make it everybody's problem. This is how a main character acts, right? The moment they receive any amount of negative criticism, they take it so personally. I took it so personally, right? And nobody deserves to deal with that. If you stuck with me through those stages, you're a real one. You are a real one, because that was a nasty time to be alive for everybody. I'm so sorry about that. Another thing is that, well, yes, it's true that some people are going to be paying attention to you the way that you think they are, like they care that much about you. It is never a mentally healthy person that's doing that. Like it attracts actually mentally ill people, or people that are like incredibly steeped in insecurity. And it's honestly kind of scary, because I don't know if you've ever had somebody that borderline stalks you, but it's weird. Like, what do you mean you're that obsessed with me? Like, okay, get a job. Sorry, but like literally, like you could be obsessing. Oh, obsessing of yourself would be healthier than this. Like, are you kidding me? Like, okay, you like every single one of my stories and you swipe up on like half of them. Okay, calm down a little bit. Like, you can be a story liker, I respect that, but swiping up on half of them, like, please calm down. Like, I never understand those kinds of people, but those are the kinds of people that you attract. You attract those really, really weird, obsessive people that want to know everything that's going on with you, and not healthy people, not people you want to associate with. And it's a big turnoff for me, honestly. Speaking of stories and social media, oh my God, social media has made this so much worse. When you're able to curate exactly what people see about you, oh my God, please just shut up. It's, I don't know if any of you guys have survived the monstrosity that was Instagram Notes that came out a couple months ago. Oh my God. I know a person that will make note prompts, will make 3 of them a day, and nobody responds to them, but they make note prompts. They're the most like dramatic or the most inconsequential things in the world. And then there's like the other polar extreme where people are spamming songs, or they're spamming cryptic messages like, oh, he wronged me so bad, like nobody cares. Like they expect you to like tap on that note and be like, oh my god, who is he? Oh my god, like no, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you that much to tap on your note, reply, and be like, girlie, are you okay? This hurt you so bad you had to make a note. Like I'm sorry. When like the social mediaification, I don't know how to say that, of being a main character is so funny to me. Because on one hand you have like the old school main characters on Instagram that'll make these like perfectly curated posts and stories that look absolutely perfect and reflect every positive aspect of their life. And then on the other end, you have these people who are seemingly always on a downward spiral in life, and they got to let everybody else know. They got to let everybody else know that something is happening and it's happening right now and you have to know about it. You got to be all concerned for them. Oh my gosh. I was lucky enough to be my parents never allowed me to have like social media until I turned 16. Thank you so much. I was so pissed off at them for such a long time. I'm like, what do you mean? Like everybody else has Snapchat. Everybody else has Instagram. Like I want to post photos too. And the moment I gained access to social media was the moment I think like my brain died. Like my attention span is like it used to be like this and I was like that. Like I have the attention span of a goldfish. I I'm like really insecure about how I look. Oh, shocker. I know, right? And I have this like I had this intense need for a long time to perfectly curate everything so that everybody knew that I had my stuff together. And now I don't. Like and it's so weird because I do have people who will judge me for how I act on social media. I post like 3 stories a day. And I have people telling me like you have less than 100 followers and you're acting like an influencer. I'm like, okay, I literally don't care. I literally do not care. I find things that I think are cool and that I like and I want to share with other people, and I do that freely and openly. And yeah, I have my crowd of supporters. I have my faithful story likers. And yeah, I love them. But don't like sit there and judge me for wanting to let other people know I found something cool or interesting or what's going on right now. Because I have a lot of people who are genuinely interested in that right now. And I don't do it for them. I don't do it in the sense of like, everybody needs to know what's going on with me. No, I do it in the sense of like, I want to share this with other people. I think this is cool. I like this. And I don't do it for other people. I do it for myself because then I look through my archive and I'm filled with these memories of things that make me happy. And I love that. I love that for myself. But yeah, I think it's so stupid when we criticize other people for posting too much. Like on one hand, I get it. Like sometimes when people like spam post, it's like, oh my god, shut up. But also people like just mute my story. Like you can't mute notes, which is really annoying. Instagram, if you're listening, let me mute notes. I don't want to have to unfollow people just to get it to stop. Like you can mute people's stories if you don't like it. I've done that to a couple people. Like sorry, but you posted too much cringeworthy stuff for me to want to look at it again. Like you lost your 1 week window to gain my attention. Like I don't, and maybe this is bad of me, but I really just don't watch people's stories that much. I'll maybe watch like 4 stories, and then that's it. And I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid, especially when I come across these traumatic people who are reposting things, and it's like they have to let everybody know that they identify with this. Guys, I was on this birthday slide and it said that my birthday for June, I'm Vegeta. I'm literally the most I got the best one. Like shut up. Shut up. So letting everybody know that some random some random Instagram AI generated profile made your birthday month of Vegeta and how that is like the best thing ever is so dumb to me. And it's even dumber that they feel the need to like post about it so publicly. I think that is a trait of being a main character, is like the really annoying flavor versus like the really popular flavor. This is the really annoying flavor. Like, people do not care. I'm going to forget about this in like 15 seconds. Like, just like everything else I consume on Instagram, I'm going to forget about it. And ultimately, it wasted my time. And I'm never getting that time back. And one of those things was learning that this stupid post said that you were Vegeta. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Um, on the flip side, I kind of want to talk about what it was like surviving and overcoming that like feeling of, "Ugh, everybody, look at me, I'm so good and popular." You're like being the main character. Like, what does it look like growing from that? Really boring. It's really boring. Um, Once I learned that literally nobody cared about me and what I said and what I thought, it was devastating. I was devastated. I was like, oh, because what do you mean nobody cares about me and what I did? Like, what do you mean I'm sitting here and I'm suddenly inconsequential? All that work I put in, like, are you kidding me? Like, I worked for this, right? It was like that. And then I was like, oh, yeah, nobody cares. And it was so freeing. Oh, it was so freeing. Oh my God. You sit there and you realize that nobody cares about you. And it is about probably the best thing that can ever happen to you, because you're like, on one hand, you're like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. On the other hand, you're like, nobody cares. Like, I can do anything I want. Like, I know probably 6 people will watch this. I'm going to post this to my story. I'm going to get like 35 views, and maybe 4 or 5 people will click on it. That's okay. I do not care, because I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing this for me, right? Nobody cares. Good news. Nobody cares. You can live your life and you can do whatever you want. It's amazing. New concept. I know. I just found this out and I have to share it with the world. um, yeah, it's pretty incredible. But yeah, literally nobody cares. And the odd effect that I've learned of not caring anymore is that people begin to care about you when you don't care about making them care about you. If that makes sense. Um, I think I talked about how like, oh, like I had to let everybody know that I'm the most stylish person here. I'm the most well put together. Like, fashion now for me is just a hobby. Like, I like doing it. I like dressing up and I like going out. I like being, put together. I like looking nice. I like walking into school and feeling good about the way that I look. It makes me feel cleaner. It makes me feel more fresh. I'm not doing it so that I'll walk down the hallway and be like, everyone's looking at me. I'm used to it. Like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for other people. I'm doing it for myself. Like, if I'm going to be in speech and debate class talking, yeah, I'm going to have some pleated pants on and I'm going to be wearing like a cute sweater. Like, okay, that's the end of it. And if somebody compliments me, oh my God, that made my day. Thank you so much. Right? But the really odd effect of not caring about impressing other people attracts them to you. I think you've probably heard of like, I don't chase, I attract kind of mentality. I don't have that mentality, but I kind of like see the effects of it. I was recently sat with some new people at lunch and I was talking to them like, oh yeah, hey, I'm Blake. And they're like, oh, that's your name. I'm like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, we had like seen you a lot in like different classes and hallways, but we like didn't know who you were. And I joked, I was like, oh, it must just be that hallway aura. And they went, no, literally, yeah, it's like your aura is insane. First off, the word aura is kind of stupid. I feel kind of cringy for using it, but that was kind of like, oh, like not caring about impressing other people kind of attracts them to you. And it's kind of weird. I'm like, oh, I'm flattered. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's such a weird feeling. And I see it with other people in my life too. Like, the difference between like the authentically popular and like the main character popular. I see how that was built upon. I know this one girl. I love you so much, Gracie. I know you're watching this, by the way. um she is like authentically popular. Like, I don't feel like she has to force her image at all for people to like her. She is so absolutely freaking gorgeous. She's amazing. She's funny. She's beautiful. And she is the moment. And I feel like every time I see and I meet her, I'm like, I am just so overwhelmed with how authentically happy and herself she is. And that is the kind of behavior that I notice more, even in people I don't know. When I notice that behavior, those are the kind of people that I notice more than the people who are like forcing their like, "Oh, I'm mysterious, I'm popular, I'm beautiful, cool." Like, I forget about those people because ultimately there is no substance to you. There is nothing there beyond this front that you're putting up. Rather, these people are absolutely living their truth. They are being them. They're being perfect. They're being gorgeous. They're being beautiful. And I notice that. And that's what a popular person is to me. It is somebody that is able to genuinely connect with so many people because they are authentically themselves. I think that that enables so much connection. And I think that's what, honestly, the saddest part about being a main character is that you are not able to make genuine connections with other people. One of the most important and I guess sacred things you can do as a person is forming genuine connections with other people. And that you just can't do that when you're constantly obsessed about yourself. It's so depressing. It's so sad. But anyways, yeah, I surviving being a main character and trying to get, I guess, better at it is focus on the authenticity of yourself, because ultimately if you try and force yourself to be someone, you're going to fall into a big group of people and you're going to be forgotten. But if you're truly authentic to yourself, there is rarely ever anyone that is similar to you. And it makes you stand out so much more. Being authentic means being happy, and being authentic means being true to yourself. And those are important. Those are two very, very big and important things that I think attribute to kind of getting past being a main character, is realizing that, people don't really care as much as you think they do, and being authentic has way more merit than you think it does. Being a main character is insecure and selfish and weird. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? Have you ever been stuck in this mindset? I would love to hear it. Make sure to comment and let me know. I will absolutely respond to it. And yeah, I hope you like this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm really new to this, and I actually really enjoyed sitting down and doing this, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me. If you're here by this point, I really hope you did spend the time enjoying this. But yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.